Welcome, everybody. I'm Marc David, founder of the Institute for the Psychology of Eating. Here we are back in the Psychology of Eating podcast, and I'm with Hara today. Welcome, Hara.
Hi, thank you.
Well, you know the idea here. We're meeting for the first time, and we get to do a session together. And hopefully, I'm going to do my best to help you get where you want to go. So if you could wave your magic wand, and if you can get whatever you wanted with food and body, what would that be for you?
I would not worry about every single thing I eat. There's a constant dialogue of, I don't even know what's healthy anymore. I don't know how to take care of me because I've heard too many different people say too many different things. And so there's no peace with eating. Whether it's only health food in my refrigerator or not, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So you just want to have some peace, and it sounds like you want to know what to eat.
Yeah, but also I think I'm 55 years old and I should know what to eat. And I have lost all the weight. I've been skinny and fat my whole life, and every diet works until it doesn't. And so I don't want to diet anymore, of course. And I've had a real freedom last year from diet, but still not a freedom from food. There's no food freedom. There's no peace when I eat. So,
okay. So no peace when you eat, and that's completely understandable. But let me just make sure I understand where you're coming from. So you let go of dieting, you said about a year-ish ago?
Yeah.
And what does that look like for you?
Well, it looked like what you're scared it might look like. You jump into so strict on so many strict diets that this was the first year since I think I was 12 that I didn't diet seriously. And so, I went full board the wrong direction. Just, you say, oh, you'll know, you won't eat all the crap because you'll have to stop. But I really did eat everything bad that I hadn't allowed myself to for years because I was always perfect on every diet. And so, but I have, what was the question? Did I answer the question?
I asked you you mentioned how you stopped dieting. So I just wanted you to say more, like what that was, what that looked like, what that was like for you. So you've been answering my question.
So I did overeat, and I did eat bad things or things that are not healthy for me. And I have gotten back to healthy eating, and yet I'm not weighing myself, but I know I'm not losing weight because my clothes. And I think it's because I think you once said that worrying about eating the bread is just worse than even eating the bread. And I think it's all the worry I have about everything I put in my mouth because of all the, eat fat, get thin. And then there's another one, don't eat any oil, sugar, or salt. And another diet where you can eat anything you want and as much salt as you want, or all the, vegetables, but as much salt as you want. So I just don't know. I don't know what healthy is. I really don't.
Got it. That's helpful. So I want to make sure still that I know what you want here. Okay. Because let me just say this. I'm hearing two different things.
Okay.
Part of you is, hey, everybody's saying something different about what healthy eating is. And how am I supposed to know what healthy eating is if all the experts are saying something different, and they're really different? But at the same time, you did mention, you said, oh, okay, I stopped the whole dieting thing and I maybe went a little crazy, but then I got back to healthy eating. So you do have a concept of healthy eating.
I think I do.
You think you do?
Except okay. I know I'm not losing any weight, although I don't know the number, of course, but so I guess I know what healthy eating is. I think I'm taking care of my body. So I even paid to get a DNA test and it's supposed to tell you what foods to eat. And one part of it said, limit oils. And another part said, make sure you get at least a tablespoon of oil a day. So, I mean, even that was contradictory. So I'm
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
my brain hurts.
They're covering all their bases. So you would
Yes.
like to lose some weight.
I honestly, yes, I would like to lose weight because I'm uncomfortable. And there's no magic number. I just want to be comfortable and I want to be healthy. I really have come to love myself and come to terms that if this is the body I'm supposed to be in, I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
It's not a number I'm searching for. It's truly peace I'm after.
Mhm. Okay, it's peace you're after. So I still want to tease out. I want to help you get clear about what you want, because when you get clear about what you want, it's going to be easy to get it.
Okay.
So you talk about healthy eating and talking about losing weight. I'm happy for you to want to lose weight. I always consider, people who want to lose weight, or people who want to gain more muscle, or people who want to look a certain way. It's our preference. Which is often different from being healthier. So you said you say you want to be healthier. Let me ask you this question. Right now, would you consider, like, where are you on the healthy scale
Okay.
in your mind, just in terms of your overall symptoms, level of dis-ease?
That's a great question. I am healthy. The blood tests say so. I play tennis. I can move my body. I'm 55 years old and doing well in that area. My blood pressure's low. My heart rate's great, so I am healthy, but I'm uncomfortable with the blubber.
Got it. Great. Okay. That's really good. We're really getting somewhere.
Okay.
Because oftentimes what happens is when we want to lose weight, we attach, I want to be healthy to it.
Okay.
Now, for some
Oh.
people, they might be carrying around excess weight and it is causing a health challenge for them. It might be contributing to their diabetes. It might be contributing to joint pain. And it might be contributing or part of a symptomatic picture of high blood pressure. What's really fascinating is whenever you take the sum total of all the obesity research that's out there, obesity scientists cannot conclusively say whether extra weight on the body is a genetic issue, a psychosocial issue, if it's a health challenge, or if it's a health advantage. Because in different cases, it could be any one of those, or it can be a combination of those. So my point is, I just want you to be able to own your preference and not affix health to it, because for you, where your body's right now, you're healthy.
I see what you're saying. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I not long ago was much thinner and felt really good and enjoyed feeling really good in that body
Yeah.
size. And so so loving myself didn't magically make the food conversation go away,
Yeah.
So, okay. So it's not that I want good health, although I do.
Of course you want good health.
I do things to make sure that's true. I want to feel, I know when I'm thinner, I run better on the court. I move better. I want that.
So mission accomplished so far in the health realm. You're a relatively healthy person. So whatever you're weighing right now is not adversely impacting your health. I just think it's important that we understand a human being can, you can have your quote unquote perfect weight, your ideal weight, and you could be very unhealthy.
Right.
There are all kinds of humans walking around at all kinds of different weights, at all kinds of different levels of health and disease. What we weigh guarantees nothing. When we get to extremes in weight, when people become extremely thin anorexia, extremely overweight, intense obesity. Yeah, the extremes start to put us in the risk category for sure. But there's an interesting middle there. So, okay, so you want to lose weight. And let's just get back one more time to this health thing, because you were saying, well, I don't know what to eat to be healthy. How big of an issue is that for you? Healthy, just healthy. Now that we're talking about what we're talking about, because obviously something that you're doing in terms of eating must be helping you or must be working for you, because according to all the tests, you're healthy. So is figuring out what to eat for your health, is that important for you? And I'm just really asking, and it might be.
I think I must know what healthy eating is if I am eating what I'm eating and I'm healthy.
Yes. Yes.
So I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I mean, I don't overdo things that I know aren't healthy or good for me. Like, I don't overdo sugar, but I do look at every label to make sure it's not too much sugar, natural sugar. Everything is a question mark.
Yes. So you have your own internal guidelines based on all the information that you've gathered.
Yes.
And you're following that as best you can. And so far it's working. So we'll finish this part of the conversation. All I want to suggest to you, and suggest anybody listening in here, is that if you're confused, you have every right to be confused about what's healthy, because the experts all differ. Right. And the truth is, different things work for different people at different times. And it's all a moving target. And our job is to find out what works for us and to arrive at a place based on what I read, what I hear, and what I do, my own self-experimentation. Oh, when I eat too much sugar, I don't feel good. When I drink too much alcohol, I don't feel good. When I eat too much of this or too little of that, whatever it is. So you gather your own information, you come to your own conclusions, and any expert that you read, they work for you. They're your consultants. Okay. But ultimately, you can hire a bunch of consultants, but you're the person that hires them and fires them. You either listen to your consultant or you don't. And you take back the power, and don't let it all be confusing. Just let it be, oh, I live in a world where there's no one tried and true answer that everybody agrees this is the way all human beings should eat. That's not our planet. That maybe it's some different planet, but that's not our planet. So everybody's different. You're finding what works for you for health. So far, so good. And you'd like to lose some weight.
Correct.
So what do I do to lose weight? So in the times when you've dieted and you lost some weight and you felt like, okay, I'm where I want to be, what happens for you that the weight comes back on? How would you assess yourself? Like, here's what goes on.
I think that I have to be perfect. Like, I'm going to do it the best that anybody's ever done it. And so it's so restrictive. And then I just get to a point where I can't do it anymore because it's not natural.
Yes.
It's not natural. Yeah.
So, okay, you get to the point, this is too restrictive. I'm trying to be perfect, but it's not natural. So then what happens?
I just go back to, I have a problem. I feel like I have a problem with feeling full sometimes, or knowing when I'm full, or what we would call, I say, if I'm emotionally eating, I have no idea what the emotion is, but I eat past fullness. So that's a problem. When I'm on a diet, I'm not doing that because there's a limit, there's a number, there's a something that's stopping me. But left to my own devices, and I'll just eat. I assume for comfort, but I don't know what from, because I'm happily married, successful in business, living a full life, have beautiful family. I don't know what the emotion is.
Okay, that's a great question. I want to table that for 1 second because I want to get an answer to my question, which is, and we were getting there. So you're following your diet perfectly. You get the weight that you want, and then you realize, damn, this is too hard to do. Then what happens?
Well, I think I just overeat. The one that sticks out to me is the last diet I was on was very restrictive. I mean, measuring everything, but that is the diet that I got so slim on and felt so good. But as soon as I stopped that and I decided no more dieting, I started eating sugar again for the first time in a dozen years. Like I was like, I just want to not diet. And I went full bore is what I'm saying. Like the things you're scared of that you say, well, you're going to know what to eat. I just went everywhere.
Yes.
And I finally reined it in, but I had a really rough, in terms of food, 2022.
So you had a rough 2022, but you've also been dieting since you were 12.
Yes.
That's rough.
And it was real pleasant also to have no rules, even though I was not happy. I'm not happy with the weight I'm at, whatever that is. It was a beautiful year of freedom from all the rules. And I'm acknowledging that I really appreciated just whatever that was that year. And that's what happened.
Yes. So let me offer a couple of thoughts as we kind of circle in on where things can move forward for you. So one thought is that there's a part of you that's an all or nothing type eater.
In every area of my life.
Every area. That's so good, because that's usually what happens when we're an all or nothing eater. It means that there's a part of us that has an all or nothing personality.
Yeah.
Which means when you're all in, you are all in. You're doing it. Not only are you doing it, you're really doing it. You're doing it great. You're following the rules. You're as good, if not better, than anybody else. And you're on it. And when you're on it, you feel good. And part of feeling good when you're on your chosen diet, or when you're all or nothing in on anything, when you're in the all phase of whatever you're doing, there's a certain high.
Yeah.
It's a high because I'm rolling here. But like you said, the state of perfection doesn't exist in nature or in the world.
Yeah.
And what happens is eventually we come back to our humanity. And eventually we come back to my needs, my desires, my emotions. I don't like all these restrictions. I don't like all these rules. And another voice pops out. It might be the voice of the rebel in you. It might be the voice of the child in you. The child's like, I don't want to do this. Just give me the candy.
Yeah.
The rebel in you is like, I don't want any rules. No more rules. I want freedom. So really what's happening is there are conflicting voices in your head, and they each have a different agenda.
Yeah.
The part of you that wants to be perfect often sits at the head of the table. I got to achieve. I got to be the best that I can be. I got to be perfect. And great. You can really show up in your business life, in your relationship life, in your family life. You can create what you want. And in a lot of ways, oftentimes our relationship with food is the place where we get humbled.
Yes.
It's the place where we get made human. It's the place, it's where we become mortal. And we have to look in the mirror at where we're not perfect, and understanding that perfection isn't attainable.
Right. I really feel like I know that in other areas. So I wonder, I mean, I feel like I know that, like I'm not a perfectionist. I feel like
Yes,
But I guess if I'm all in and I'm doing the best that anybody's ever done, that is a perfectionist. I'm surprised to hear that.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because on a certain level, if you can get this one thing down, have my ideal weight, I'm going to have it all. Just this one piece, right?
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
So that's the promise you make to yourself.
Mm,
And what that does. Now, again, I'm going to say, I honor your preference. You have every right to have a preference. You prefer a certain kind of relationship. You've created that for yourself. You prefer a certain income. Perhaps you've created that for yourself. So we all have our preferences, and our preferences are to be acknowledged and respected.
mhm,
However, what happens with certain preferences is that we turn them into gods. We turn them into a religion. If I don't get this preference, then I'm not really the real me. I'm not the best me. I'm not perfect. My life can't really be what it truly should be or I want it to be because I'm not getting this preference. And therefore, I'm not really okay.
mhm,
There are certain places in your life where you feel confident.
mhm,
Perhaps you feel confident in business. Perhaps you feel confident just being a mom,
mhm.
being a partner. You don't feel confident in your relationship with food.
Right.
And the belief is if I lose weight, then I'll be confident.
Mhm, mhm.
But I'm not confident until I lose weight. But when I lose weight, the confidence is going to magically come. Now, what happens is you have lost weight in the past, you achieved your body, and then you feel really good. This is great. But what happens is you had an outer shift. Okay, you morphed your body. I can make anybody lose weight. I kidnap you, I tie you up, and I don't let you eat,
Right.
and you will lose weight.
Yeah,
Okay, nothing changes. That's kind of what a lot of diets are. You're
right.
basically being kidnapped and you're being chained in your garage
Mm,
and you can't eat.
yeah.
And as soon as those little chains come off, you're like, I'm free.
Yeah.
So the way you're going to have more body confidence, the way you're going to feel more comfortable is to start to own the body that you have right now and feel comfortable in the body you have right now and confident. Comfortable, when people say, I'm not comfortable at this weight.
Mm,
Okay, there's a certain amount of truth to that. There's a certain amount of truth. I feel more confident when I have a certain amount of muscle on my body. I feel more comfortable.
yeah.
But you know something? I don't lose any sleep over it. I'm okay if I don't have enough muscle on my body to feel really comfortable. So when we say I'm not comfortable at my weight, what we're really saying is I'm not happy with myself at this weight.
Mm, okay.
That's what I believe you're saying to yourself. Take away the word comfortable and pretend you're saying, I'm just not happy with myself at this weight. Everything depends on how we speak to ourselves, the kind of inner conversation we're having.
Right. Well, right. And I feel like I'm so kind to myself. I'm always, I talk to me as if I'm a little girl. Good job, good try. I really have found a way to be kind and loving. And this body is not stopping me from doing anything, whereas years ago it would have. I'm at my heaviest and it's not stopping me. I'm still out there but I hear you. And one thing you said that really is somehow that's ticking off the box for me is I think I'm a great partner because of the way I accept my husband, that he is who he is, and I don't try to change him. And somehow you said something about my relationship with food, and I think I have to accept that relationship just as kindly, that I'm not, that it's all rules and judgment rather than it is what it is and love what is. And it's the one area of my life where I'm not easy. And if I can look at it like I look at my relationship with my husband, which is whatever he does is okay because he's perfect the way he is, and he's obviously just different than me. That's the same thing with food.
Brilliant. You're giving the relationship space.
Yeah.
You're giving your relationship with food space. And particularly when it's your relationship with a part of yourself, like, great, you can give your husband space. Great, you can give your relationship with food space. In that space that you give your relationship with food, just giving it just breathing room. I got to do this. Your body has to look like that. My body has to lose weight. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
poor body, because the body is constantly getting this message since you were at least 12 years old that this must change.
Right.
If you're dieting since you're 12 years old, the 12-year-old mind, which is an extremely vulnerable and impressionable mind and heart and soul, is getting the message, actually, your body is not okay. It has to be different.
Right.
When it's different, we're all going to give it a big hug. But until it's different, we don't give it that big hug. And we're not the real me. You're not the real you until you have that body.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always going to be this nagging voice going on. Well, yeah, all these other things are good, but. And I think what is wanting to shift is this lifelong pattern of this body needs to change in order for me to be me.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, paradoxically, you can still have your preference to wish to lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
but you've spent so much time, so many years trying to make the body change that there's a little debt to be paid. There's a little rebalancing that wants to happen, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that rebalancing is give the wonderful body a little break.
Yeah.
Give it a little space.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you have been doing that, to your credit, when you said, I don't want to diet anymore. So a part of you is realizing this doesn't work.
Right.
And so you're already moving in that direction. Congratulations. And all I'm suggesting is I want you to move fully there.
Mm-hmm.
And own for a while, like take 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
6 months, and say, this is my body. Not only is this my body, but I want this body.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm going to imagine why you stay in marriage and you stay in relationship with your loved one is because you want that relationship.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, I
100%.
want this.
Yeah.
This is important to me. I want this. You got to give your body the message that you want it. Because you've been giving it the message, I don't want you.
Right.
Jeez.
So appreciate that.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that message. Your children, when they're young, they don't want to hear the message from mommy or daddy, I don't want this body that you have. Ouch. But we keep saying that to ourselves. And when we repeat that mantra to ourselves, we create all kinds of chaos. We go from diet to diet. We're looking to fix the unfixable. Well, if I can just have the body I want, then it's all going to be better. No, it all gets better when we stop bullying our body.
Right. I hear you. Truthfully, if I had this body forever, it's not stopping me from doing anything. My husband and I have the best relationship ever. And I put myself out there where as a younger woman, I wouldn't have, because I was maybe ashamed of my size, but that's not stopping me anymore. And so I think I just need to have some kinder conversations and I really hear what you're saying. I really appreciate what you're saying.
Yeah. Not only is your body not stopping you, it's affording you
Right.
everything that you have.
Right.
And then some.
Right. Every time I can run on the tennis court, I'm like, woohoo, I'm really lucky.
Yeah. The shift to wanting this body, it's just giving it the message as if it were your baby,
Yeah.
as if it was that cuddly little baby. What message do you give your baby from the moment they pop out? I want you. You are loved. I want you. Because we instinctively know that's what helps a human being become their best self. And we do that from the beginning. We let that young human know you are wanted, you are loved. And isn't it interesting to let this body know at this weight, I want you? Because the alternative is no body at all.
Right.
That's the extreme alternative.
Yeah. Well, and I do a podcast and a magazine, and I also photograph people who have disabilities, so I'm forever grateful for what I do have based on the kind of people I speak with. My mother died very young. I'm really full of gratefulness, and I have to turn it into my body, not just loving. What I've been doing is just being kind to little me, but I have to remember, I have to change it a little bit. I hear what you're saying, that not just be kind, like I love you even though you're fat or you have fat. That's what I've been doing.
Yes.
And I hear the difference, what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes. You are very welcome. And, think of it like this. So wisely, you're speaking to that young child in you who does need love.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also another part to invoke, which is the queen in you.
Mm-hmm.
The queen in you is the part of you that's royal, that's regal, that is in charge of yourself, that is giving, loving, and bestowing, that knows, the queen knows who she is. The queen doesn't sit on her throne and look at her queendom and say, am I okay? Do I need to lose weight in order for you all to love me and listen to me?
Right.
I know the queen owns herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then she just gives of herself. And there's nothing in the way, because she's more than self-accepting. She's giving from a wealth. And this queenliness, this body, this being, this existence provides that. So it's you stepping into your queen and really feeling how royal this body is. You might change it, you might shapeshift it at some point, you might not, doesn't matter.
Right.
Because whatever is going to look like, you're going to stay in your queen energy.
Great. I really hear that. Thank you.
So I'm suggesting 6 months, and it's sort of pretend time. Like, this is the body that I have. I'm going to honor it. And I'm going to inhabit it like never before. And I'm going to be more, quote unquote, comfortable in it, because I'm not trying to change it.
Right.
You could always come back to
Yeah.
losing weight, but this will give you an experience of what it's like to not be trying to tell your body what to do, to not be giving it conditional love and conditional acceptance.
Yeah, I see now that that's what I'm doing.
So you mentioned before about being full. Tell me, what helps you feel I'm ready to feel complete with a particular eating experience?
Ugh. Well, I mean, sometimes I do feel full and satisfied, I guess is the word, satisfied.
Mhm.
Other times, I guess I'm blindly eating. I don't know what it is in particular. I feel like it's not up to me or a certain meal or anything. It's just, I feel like it's random. So I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know if I know
Sure.
the answer.
Sure. Okay. Do you tend to be a fast eater, moderate eater, slow eater?
Moderate, and I have read your book. I did the slow, and also only eat if it's delicious. That is not something I do every time, but when I remember, it's brilliant. There's just so many rules in my head. There's so many things I'm supposed to keep track of, and not I don't know. Wouldn't it be great if I just ate for pleasure and nutrition? That would
Okay.
be great.
Let's simplify it. Let's see if we can simplify it to one rule,
Okay.
to
Thank
one
you.
guideline.
Okay, one guideline.
One guideline. So here's the one guideline: that you stay present and awake to all of your eating experience.
Okay.
So when you say, well, I don't know, sometimes, I can eat and feel full, and other times I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm eating. I don't know what emotion is there. So the reason for that is because a part of us checks out. Because eating has been problematic for you, as it is for so many people, eating is problematic. Even if it's not problematic, we live in a high-paced society that is crazed with multitasking, that doesn't necessarily give a lot of time to the eating experience. So we tend to eat unconsciously. We tend to eat unaware. We fuel, we stuff food down. That becomes worse when we are challenged around dieting and food and weight, because the part of you that has rules and guidelines, the all or nothing part, when you're in the all phase, you're actually present. I can only eat this. I can only eat that. I'm putting this in my mouth. I'm only supposed to have this much, so I'm going to stop. So you're present. Those rules give you permission to be present. When you do the nothing phase, well, I don't follow any of these rules, we go unpresent. We check out and I'm just going to eat whatever I want. And the answer is allowing consciousness to be present always, awareness to be present always. And it's not the kind of awareness that's putting down the rules, whipping you into shape. You can only eat this amount. Oh, you ate that amount, and now you got to stop. No, it's a more gentle, relaxed presence. It's the kind of gentle, relaxed presence that you give to your loved one when you just you're with them and you're listening to them and you're taking them in. And when your loved one, when your child, when your partner is talking to you, you're there. You're not doing something else. So when you eat, the practice is, and it's a practice, you're not always going to get it right. So when you eat, the practice is breathing yourself into your body. You don't have to know. If you feel like overeating, I would rather you notice, oh, wow, I'm overeating. You don't have to stop yourself.
Yeah.
Just notice it. Be present in that, because the more you're present in it, the easier it is to slowly learn how to manage it. But the key is to stay awake in the eating experience, because we want to check out, because there's this part of me that could be so perfectionist and so on the rules that I just want to go unconscious and eat whatever I want to eat. So we're finding a higher ground. It's a middle ground, but it's a higher ground.
Yeah.
Where I'm just with myself. I'm noticing, oh yeah, I had a bad day and I feel like eating a bunch of food. That's understandable. Let me see if I can eat a little bit more food, but something, I'm going to eat it slow. I'm going to be present. So that's the other part of staying awake when you eat, is you like food, you might as well enjoy it.
Right.
Because the more you stay present to it, the more you're in relationship with it. And the more you're in relationship with it, the better the relationship works.
Right. No, I really love that. I can do that one thing.
Yeah, just be present. And presence then leads to, because you're present and you open up the refrigerator, there's going to be moments where that awareness, that presence draws you to the right food for you in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be times when it draws you to just binge on something. Okay. We're human. That happens.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself. And then you move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
So what are some of the key takeaways for you in this conversation?
Well, I've heard relationship with food, but for some reason I wasn't thinking of it as a real relationship. And so for me, that's a kind of a light bulb moment, because I want to treat it the way I would treat a loved one, or, I want to treat it differently, like a real relationship. And so that's a kind of a light bulb. And to be present, I think, is really brilliant, because I often am not. I know that's true. And I think that will change things and also soften me towards me.
Mhm.
So I think that's great. I think those are great.
Yeah. You have all the tools you need. You really do. And, sometimes we just need to take the time to step out of what I want in the future.
Right.
What's going to give me happiness, which is often the future. I'm going to have this right body. I'm going to have the right weight, and that's going to do things. Sometimes we just have to bring it all back into the now.
You said something about being present, and I thought about something I ate yesterday that I ate with trepidation. And then I thought about eating it with presence, and I thought, oh, that's delicious. Like, I don't even think I appreciated it because I was worried about it. And I just think being present and remembering to enjoy it will make a big giant difference. So
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I knew I needed you to tell me that, but I don't know why I needed you to tell me these things. Like, I feel like, but I really appreciate the conversation and you telling me these things, because it hit home.
Yes. 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 I want to say one other thing. I think a big part of what you're doing in your life right now, what you're learning, is you're learning how to trust your body and trust yourself. Trust your body, trust yourself, trust this aspect of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is trusting your body. And when I say trust your body, means we don't know when the body's going to lose weight. We don't know when it's going to get sick. We don't know when it's going to die. And when we spend a lot of time and energy worrying, like, yeah, take care of yourself, for sure. But taking care of ourselves, that can be fun. That can be a joy. Sometimes it's work, but that's okay because we have work to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a place where you're learning to trust. And part of learning to trust is being okay when you make mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
being okay when it's not perfect, trusting that the body's not going to abandon you. It's not going to all of a sudden punish you by gaining tons of weight.
Right.
It's trusting that you can have a good experience in this body.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of waiting for you to join in.
Mm-hmm. I really like that. Yeah.
Hara, what a good conversation.
I really, really appreciate it so much. I was so looking forward to this. Thank you.
I'm so glad we got to do this. I'm glad it was helpful for you. You've been great. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Take care, my friends.
Hey friends, we're so happy that you've joined us for another episode of The Psychology of Eating with Marc David. Are you loving these episodes? Then simply subscribe and you'll never miss an episode again. We'd also love it if you'd leave us a comment below so we can hear more about your own journey with food and body. And if you're curious about what we offer at the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, including our internationally acclaimed coach certification training that's rooted in dynamic eating psychology and mind-body nutrition, please head on over to our website, psychologyofeating.com. Until next time, take care. And remember, having the body you want starts with loving the body you have.